new music coming out, give us a holler. We'll have you come back and share it with the listeners around the world. We want to thank you for joining us today, and our best to you and all the guys in the band, and we do seriously look forward to hearing more from you in the very near future. Ladies and gentlemen, that was DR from the group The Very Lazy Sundays, and this is another track from them. It's called Susie's House.
My mind wanders freely, freely like the wind blows, gazing out this window, watching the world fly. Smoke rings rise to the moon up high. Air in my face keeps my dreams alive. I contemplate my place in this park of life. But right now, mate, I'm just wasting time. I see a man walk his dog for his night's respite. The lady next door tuck the kids on their bikes. Girls with no ties, brave the cold nights. I see a lost souls and lovers in plight. A screech in the distance, it's a car. I watch this world from afar, from my own shooting star. In a world illuminated by neon lights, 2-for-1s, kebab shops and fist fights. Leaning on the edge of a crowded bar, sipping on Smirnoff, dressed like a star. She had a slim waist and a pretty face, a smile that reflects this taste for this place. My heart raced to the drum and bass. I advance, our eyes dance. Susie's house, 5 a.m. in the morning streets. Not a man to share my views. Walk alone, I can hear my feet, yeah. I'm headed over to Susie's house, 5 a.m. in the morning streets. Not a man to share my views. Walk alone, I can hear my feet, yeah. It's only just a heartbeat away, and I'm trying, what I'm trying to say is don't you leave me, just stay with me tonight. It's only just a heartbeat away, and I'm trying, what I'm trying to say is don't you leave me, Susie, stay with me tonight. Street smart, she definitely are, living on the edge of her stiletto heels. Street smart, she definitely are, living on the edge of her stiletto heels. Street smart, she definitely are, living on the edge of her stiletto heels. Street smart, she definitely are, living on the edge of her stiletto heels. Street smart, she definitely are, living on the edge of her stiletto heels.
Hey, we're Two Steel Girls, and you're listening to the David Bowers Awards on Blog Talk Radio.
There you go. That's Susie's House, The Very Lazy Sundays, and John Bon Jovial. Is it my imagination? It wasn't an artist that we talked about in reference to their muses and their influences. But did I catch a little bit of a wisp of the Velvet Underground and Lou Reed on that last track?
Yes, you did. It's weird. I was thinking the same thing. And anybody that is a fan of Lou Reed, I'm going to get along with them just fine. That was pretty innovative and very creative, and I really want to applaud DR and his boys there for doing what they've done. That was a couple of very nice songs. And speaking of which, we're going to be playing a couple of more songs here. We're going to start off with the the Buzzhounds, and this is called Lipstick Smack.
Just right. Lipstick smack me up alright. I gotta follow you around again all night. I said, hey, mama, man, I wish you would come on over here and love me, baby, just like a good girl should. Hey, little mama, won't you break me off some of that? Baby, I've been working since 10 of 9 just to buy you things that look so fine. Gucci handbag, never Valley wine, but you never let on that you're all mine. I said, hey, mama, man, I wish you would come on over here and love me, baby, just like a good girl should. I said, hey, mama, girl, do you think you could come on over here and touch me, baby, just like a bad girl would? Hey, little mama, won't you break me off some of that? Girl, how'd you get those pants so tight? And damn, those shoes, they look just right. Lipstick smack me up alright. I gotta follow you around again all night. I said, hey, mama, man, I wish you would come on over here and love me, baby, just like a good girl should. I said, hey, mama, girl, do you think you could come on over here and touch me, baby, just like a bad girl would? I said, hey, little mama, won't you break me off some of that?
Yeah, Lipstick Smack. Those are the Buzzhounds. And here to tell us about the Buzzhounds and more is Jeff Manga. Welcome aboard, Jeff.
What's going on, guys? John?
You are.
Hey, man.
You're happening.
Thanks
How
for
you
having
doing? Oh, so
Pretty
happy
good,
to
man.
have you on board. Good sound. We played that, I don't know, it was a week or two ago.
A couple of weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I love the line in there, like a good girl should and like a bad girl would. I mean, you don't get any better than that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
it's
the
kind
way
of
you...
like Betty might, right? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the way you just work that around. One time it's a good girl, next time it's a bad girl. Great line, and we got such good response. I said, hey, we got to get these guys on the show. So tell us about the Buzzhounds, Jeff.
Well, we're coming off of a great weekend. We just had a hell of a show on Friday night. We did a CD release, or a record release party in Chicago over at Max on Slade. Had about 100 of our friends out there and closest friends and family. Celebrated the 5th record that we had put out since 2012. This is our 5th record, Chicago Go-Go. So we had a party, and I'm still kind of recovering from that night. Stayed up late, played all night, and so that was cool. And we just shot a couple videos for Lipstick Smack, which you just heard, another tune called Cold Beer and Whiskey, and a song called Chicago Go-Go with a guy named John Romashko of Planet A Studios. He's a talented and creative video guy, so we're looking forward to that's in the can. We're producing that, and we've got a couple shows coming up. One show on July 22nd at the Chicago Marathon downtown. We're also playing in August at the Chicago Yacht Club. And, just having fun with it, you know. Excited about the new record. I think it came out great, produced by a friend of ours, Mikey V, here in Chicago. And it's got kind of another throwback feel, kind of like we were talking last time. We keep going backwards in time. Now we're in kind of like a 50s, 60s surf feel.
All right. And our engineer, who unfortunately is tied up there for the moment, so we can't bring him on, or I'd have him jump in here. He did some producing and some editing, I think, in Chicago years ago, didn't he, John?
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in Chicago, and haunted the blues clubs up there. But he did a lot of recording work, a lot of production, a lot of engineering, and. His name is, we call him Nick the Geek, but his name is Nick Rogers, and we're very fortunate to have him. He's a hell of an engineer.
We'll have to get you guys in touch. We'll have to get you guys in touch
cool,
next time he's coming up that way, and you guys can pick each other's brains. But meanwhile, back here on the ranch, we're talking about the Buzzhounds. Now, one thing I want to get you to do this right up front, as we tell all our guests, self-promotion is highly encouraged on this show. And I noticed when I was tracking you down and just, checking background and stuff that I do just, to keep myself busy, I noticed that there's one or two other groups with, let's just say similar names out there. How do the listeners distinguish you from the other groups if they go searching you online to make sure that they have the right Buzzhounds?
Well, you can see Buzzhounds.com. We own the name, so that's
good.
The others are all imposters, Dave. I'm just kidding.
Nothing wrong with
Buzzhounds.com will take it. Yep.
There you go.
Buzzhounds.com. We own the website, and we got the name. We trademarked the name. So if you go to Buzzhounds, we typically spell it with no spaces. So if you type in Buzzhounds with no space, you'll come up with ours. There's been a couple more groups that have followed suit since. And, but we, obviously own the name. We own the copyright and the trademark.
Right. Well, that's essentially what I was going for. I wanted to get that point out there because I did run across at least one other group who was utilizing the name, and I wanted to be sure. And you explained it very well. Just start with Buzzhounds.com, and you got the right group. You can go from there and find their other online presence on Facebook, Twitter, all the other usual places. But I wanted to make sure they were able to find you. John Bon Jovial is waving frantically at me. All right, John. All right, you've got your. I'll give you 60 seconds or so. What do you got?
Oh, gosh, it's so kind of you. Well, Jeff, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I remember listening, a week or two ago to Lipstick Smack, and I'm thinking, these guys are playing some kick-ass rock and roll. And what has gotten you to this point in life to where you're playing this kind of music? I know that we've all grown up with it. I know that I certainly did, and I love garage-style bands, and I love what goes into the thought process and the creativity and the production and of creating this music. But I guess I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. What has gotten you to this point?
Well, as we talked about before when we had chatted in the wintertime, I'm kind of a gearhead, and I love vintage gear, and I love vintage guitars. And, the style of music, Chicago being such a blues hub, everybody's playing blues, and, it's very much a cover scene. There's a ton of covers. I think for me, it's a meld of the guitars and the gear. It just kind of lends itself nicely to that sound. I like the old, Echo Plexes. I like the old hollow body guitars. And for us and for me recently, I mean, we've been going down kind of like this throwback rock and roll path for a couple of years now, and it's the music